This your boy Mel Simmons, man. You already know what it is. This our podcast as a black man. Got my man, Joe. What's up, Joe?
What's good? What's good? Morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yo, man, how you doing, man?
I'm glad to be alive, brother.
All right. That's what's up, man. Yeah, hey, guys, we got a great show for y'all today. We got a special guest. Joe, introduce your guest, bro.
So we got my man, Duane Buchanan, on the line with us today. He's a member of Iota Phi Theta, correct?
Fraternity Incorporated.
There we go, baby. There we go.
Hey, brother Duane, I wanted to live. I'm gonna give it to you,
brother Duane is a very he's a rock in the community, strong black man, and he has a story he's gonna talk to us about today concerning health and some issues that we all address on different levels. And we probably have fun, Duane. We probably rock out, baby. Out.
Good morning. Good morning, both of y'all. Everybody watching. Thank y'all for having me on this morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks, man. We're so happy that you came on our show today, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to get started. Look, guys, as a black man, I know what it feels like to feel alone. I know how it feels to be told that I'm not good enough. No, I'm not here for your entertainment. I'm not a rapper, a ball player, a celebrity. I'm a human being. As a black man, I'm told to man up when I have feelings. Ignore it when I speak my pain. Hopeful that things will change, yet disappointed they often remain the same. As a black man, I am strong because I have to be. This life, a gobble up the weak, and the pain and trauma that I've been through has humbled me to become a better me. It's time, as black men, that we stand our ground. We speak our truth.
Kylie, use your brain. I'm on the show.
Regardless of the pain we've been through. We quit for no one and inspire others to be themselves, to become greater. We owe it to ourselves as black men. Let's go. So, Joe, man, I'm ready to get this show started today, man. We got a great one for you guys. Physical health, man. Physical health can play a huge role in your mental health, man. So we're so glad to have Brother Duane on here to share his story. He wanted to come on, man, and we're so happy that we're starting to get guests and other men to come on the show and share these stories, man, because we keep it real with you guys. And these are things that we are all dealing with as black men. So, Duane, man, tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you want to come on to our podcast.
Well, just listening to you right now, my story is going to be real as it can be because as a black man dealing with type 1 diabetes for going on for actually 41 years now. I can't remember. It's been so long that I've dealt with it and everything you talked on, the physical, definitely the mental. And, it's getting older. It's actually having an effect on me, physically and mentally. And so, like they say, as a black man, you're supposed to be strong. But just listening to your affirmation this morning, that stuff hits home. And, I now understand what my mom used to tell me when I was younger. I was young knucklehead out there in my teens and college years, 20s, partying and everything. Don't let that diabetes get in your body. Right now, physically and mentally, that diabetes is in my body. Mm-hmm. So that's how I'm going to start off. If y'all got a couple questions to ask, I'm an open book. I try to share my story on my, which I need to do a little bit better on my YouTube page. And I spread it out to Facebook and all other social medias that, that I'm on.
So let me ask you a question. When you initially was diagnosed with having diabetes, right?
Yes.
What was your mental mindset like?
When I was initially diagnosed with diabetes, I had no understanding of it because I was 7 or 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm saying, and that's one of the I'm not going to say misconceptions, the misunderstanding that's out there. And part of what I have today in my notes is there's a difference between type 1 diabetes, which they used to call juvenile diabetes, which is what I had. and type 2 diabetes, which is used to be, well, adult onset
Okay.
diabetes. So there's a distinct difference between the two. And then now doctors are has another diagnosis as pre-diabetes, as you might hear some
Okay.
people here. So going back to your original question, I was in third grade when I was diagnosed. Like some of this comes back, some of this I don't remember. It's been that long, in my in the 40s now. I'm gonna leave it at that. But so I can't remember. I can't remember, like a mental state. All I remember, I was in Children's Hospital, Philadelphia. I went to a regular, a diabetes checkup because my parents, who were on top of things, knew something was wrong with me. So they took me to the doctor to see if I was sick or whatever the case may be. And, prior to this blue route and everything, my doctor was in Media on Baltimore Pike, Providence Road, but no longer there. But I just remember I'm telling my mom, who took me, your son has, I don't know what they told her, I was sick. I had to go to Children's Hospital.
Right.
And that was probably the longest ride I've ever had from Media going to Children's Hospital of Baltimore Pike with my mom crying in the
Okay.
car. So the effect hit her immediately. My dad was at work, all the phone calls being made. This is all before everybody has cell phones in the light. So, it was physical phone calls. So, and then I remember myself as being in the hospital for about 3 to 4 months. And then, go through all the training. Excuse me for the moving around, I'm just trying to get centered in here. But all the training, which is really different than what it is now, because just talking to somebody who was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes, they was only in the hospital for 3 days. At that time, I was in the hospital from like February. It was cold when I went in and warm when I came out.
Right.
So, all the training and stuff and all the diagnosis and things now, and treatments are different. And over the years, I have seen all the different ways diabetes has been treated, especially with my, just with myself.
Right.
So, but again, go ahead.
So Duane, like you were a kid. Once you got out to the hospital, what was your schooling like? Did you feel like you were getting treated differently by the other kids because you had the diabetes, or was you able to kind of like settle back in and resume life as normal?
Well, when you're younger, your friends are your friends, your people. I was in third grade. You get the welcome back, all your friends, how you doing, blah blah blah. The one thing I do remember from that time is at a cousin's birthday party, and everybody calls it the sugar, quote unquote. So you're supposed to not to have sugar. So at that time, at the birthday party, I wasn't allowed to have cake. Everybody having cake and ice cream. But I distinctly remember I got my couple cousins over here sneaking me some cake. But I got my other cousins over here going back telling, oh, he giving them cake. So it was definitely a mental transition that I had to go through, just doing things that I wasn't able to do prior. You can't drink regular soda no more. It's, diet soda. Diet soda, had the aspartame. It was nasty. I couldn't do diet soda. So you're limited in the amount of stuff that you can do. I just can, at the time, I just say now take it to the head. I couldn't take a bottle of soda anymore. I had to get like the 8 ounces. The glasses were marked at the 8 ounce. Measured 8 ounces out. Everything was marked. So just little things like that, affected me as a kid. But I went on playing sports. My parents were, I'm not going to say protective of me, but they made sure everything was in place for me. Like in case of a blood sugar drop, I had my own special, the squirt bottle with the soda in it, just in case my blood sugar got low during the game.
Right.
You know? So that that was just one example, one instance, personally of, as a kid that I can remember. Like I said, it's been so far, certain things come back, certain things don't.
Right.
You
So
know,
Duane,
go ahead.
this is like something that essentially you're going to deal with for the rest of your life, correct?
Yeah, I deal
Okay.
with it for the rest of my life because as a type 1 diabetic, it's not controlled. It's controlled by diet. Everybody's out. Most of the people that have the type 2, they tell them they can do the diabetes, take the pills, take the medicine. That's because their body still produces insulin. Their pancreas basically works, but it's working, say, at a minimum. As a
Right.
type 1 diabetic, my pancreas does not produce any insulin at all. So I can't use those treatments, or you see the Avandia, all the commercials now. You treat your type 1 diabetes, one shot during the week. I'm actually on an insulin pump right now.
Right.
So
let me ask you this
that's it
question.
right there.
With
Go
you
ahead.
growing up, with this situation of a mental breakdown and psychological breakdown of your body, right? How did
Uh-huh.
you develop into the man that you are now? Being as strong as you are, being as resilient as you are, not letting this break you down to where you like I'm disabled, I can't function no more. Like sometimes, like when we get like a headache, we tend to curl up like a baby and cry all day long, right? What gives you the motivation to keep moving forward?
Well, I'm not going to say I don't have those moments,
Right.
because sometimes it's just because I'm on disability right now. I can no longer work. I had
Okay.
to retire from my job due to the diabetes that got in my body that my mom all them years ago kept telling me don't let it do.
Right.
I it gets frustrating because as a man, as you were saying, you're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to be doing everything. You're the head of the household. I
Right.
got a teenage daughter that I have to ask to tie my shoes because I just physically can't, because I
Okay.
have so much nerve damage in my body.
Okay.
But
Okay.
because of that, that's the part that keeps me going. I don't want it to break me down any more than what it already has. And
So let me ask you this question: with you having now you're not able to work, right? And you're on disability. What's your mindset like on a daily basis? Like when you wake up in the morning, like are you motivated to get out the bed, or do you just want to quit? Like what's your mental psyche like right now?
that's the one thing I don't do. I got those feelings, the mornings my body hurts and all the above. Like right now, I don't know if you can see my hands, but my hands are, you know, I have nerve damage in my hands. Went to a hand specialist. I actually have atrophy.
Okay.
So, within my hands. So I got the neuropathy. So everything is numb. I have no feeling, but there's a lot of pain at the same time on the inside. But going back to answer your question, I gotta get up every day because there's stuff I gotta do. You
Right.
know what I mean? I still have to. I still feel myself having to hold it down.
Right.
That's not placed on me. That's just me on the inner.
Right.
I mean, my dad got up and went to work every day. That's his role model. My pop got up, went to work. He went to work for the U.S. Post Office. Good gosh, for I don't know how long. You know, I have 30 plus some years. I mean, I'm older. I have work. I did my time of work. I got up and went to work, did the same thing.
Right.
So that's the laying in bed part is not a problem. It's just depending on what I want to do. Within the fraternity, you deal with a lot of stuff. So I take on a lot of things for the chapter. And as you see, we doing the community service and being in the MPAC. This is where I met Joe, and he stood up, said he had a podcast on Blackman Self. So this is where I'm at. These are the things that keep me moving, that keep me motivated. Finding these community service events that we can do, planning all types of programs and things like that talking on here. So these are the things that give me moments. You know, I was 7 o'clock this morning. I was up. He can tell you. I sent him a text. I ain't get the link yet.
I was still
You know what I
asleep
mean?
too.
Like,
You know what I mean?
I'm
This
like,
man disturbed
okay.
my morning sleep.
So Duane,
Yeah, right. I was trying to prepare myself. You know what I mean? These are the things that keep me motivated, keep me going.
Right.
so Duane, I just want to say, man, I highly commend you, man, for still giving back to the community. What I found, the more and more I talk to people, sometimes the people that's hurting the most give back the most. They're giving everything they have to help other people that may be going through similar things that they're going through, and just share that knowledge, man. So I definitely commend you for that, and I'm so happy that you came onto the show, because it can't be easy to talk about these things that have impacted your life since a kid. And the fact that you're still pushing, the fact that you're out in your fraternity and helping people. We need people like you, bro. We need people that's going to come out here and even though they don't feel good physically, you still want to help your community. You still wanted to come on a podcast and share your story. So thank you so much for coming on, man. Like, we really do appreciate you, and we appreciate
you're welcome,
what you're doing
man.
in the community. So that's big, man. So
I mean, this is my way to keep going and get back.
So I would say to Wayne also, like, I'm a type 2 diabetic, right? And my
Okay.
from like heredity downfalling from my family, my grandparents. Like, we used to eat cake with gravy on it when I lived in the projects, right?
Yeah, I got
So
that. I have that as well. It's my family as well.
yeah, so I would tell you, like, you're my motivation to help me stay where I am right now with my diet, with my medicine, with my mindset. And as I talk to other black men as well that I come in contact with who are diabetic, back in the day, we wasn't really diagnosed with diabetes because, one, we didn't have the health insurance to go be seen. Grandma said, just, suck on a chicken bone, get rid of cold, kind of a thing. So we self-diagnose ourselves with those as well. I think right now, within our community that we have right now, that for you to come out and talk about it, for me to have it, for others out there that's listening to it to deal with it, like, we got to change our mindset about our health, right?
Yes.
Like, if we don't take care of our bodies, we can't live. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, like, me with me being a business owner and I was busy, I was make sure I watch what I eat, watch what I drink, make sure I don't cut my feet. You know what I'm saying? I gotta watch my wounds. You know what I mean? So for me, it's more about knowledge being accessible to me. And actually, now I have health insurance. I can go to the doctors and talk to the doctors about my treatment plans and stuff like that. This is what we need more of in our community, is that we need more people to come out and say, you know what? I have diabetes. I'm still living. Duane, you're a strong man, bro. You know what I mean? Within the community that you work with in PA and in Delaware, like, everybody know who you are. You know what I mean? They call you Big D. Like, yo, Big D out there in the streets, baby. You know what I'm saying? And I had to attach to you because of that, because I thrive off of men who excel. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you have something holding you back, that's even more reason why I got Excel T, because you're pushing through. You're not quitting. You're not giving up. You know what I'm saying? You're holding on to the faith that, you will be all right. You know what I'm saying? You are going to make it. And I applaud you for that. So I got to salute you on that right there. You know what I mean? Because you are a black man who's not giving up. You're not quitting. You're not giving in. You're pushing forward. And you're educating others. It gets no better than that, man. No better than that.
Again, I thank you. I thank you. I don't feel as though I don't know what hit me, but it was just like, all right, you got 40 years with this. You're living with 40 years with this, diabetes, this disease, autoimmune disease, And as you said, I've had those moments, and I'm still learning.
Right.
Within the past, I say 3 to 4 years, go to the doctors.
Right.
Use your insurance. The benefits is there. That was one thing I didn't do when I was younger. I would make the appointments. Oh, I can't make it today. I can't go.
Right.
Cancel it,
Right.
Scared of the doctor. I had the white coat syndrome. I go in there, my blood pressure is already, it's going up. My blood pressure, calm down, relax, Then on the way out, it's like, I made it through.
Right.
But, it wasn't bad. And as you said, the way the education is now, and, I have no problem talking. I'm on disability. I get the government benefit. I got the government insurance. I'm on actually Medicare right now.
Okay.
Working all them years, I'm on Medicare. I get my Social Security. Again, I'm not scared to talk about it. But because this is the part, it don't matter what type of insurance you have. It's there. Use the benefit. Your doctors might change, that, but that's a whole another topic. I ain't gonna go there with it. But as you said, the one thing that bothered me and still bothers me is my diet and the way that I eat. But now with the insurance I'm going to tie everything together with the insurance. I now have a diabetes team.
Okay.
So that was I have a nutritionist. I've never had a nutritionist before. All the sports I done played in my life, I didn't know nothing about, setting your meals and your 8 ounces and things like that. Then I have my actually endocrinologist, which is my diabetes educator. And then I actually have the nurse practitioner, which is my actual doctor when I go see her, So, and I'm on a constant, I'm not gonna lie, I have a constant struggle. My blood sugars, I test my blood sugars 4, 5, 6 times a day. I can go anywhere from an 80. If you test your blood sugars, Joe, you know what I'm talking about. I go anywhere from an 80 to a 500.
Right.
So Duane and Joe, with you guys both dealing with this, speak to the support. Because I even saw Duane, like your wife helping you set up your camera and everything today, like that support that you're getting from your spouse, your kids. Like you said, your daughter helps you when you need her to help you do some things that you can't do physically. Like, how's that support helped you? And this is what we need to do as a community. We have to support our brothers and sisters because there's so many diseases out here. There's cancer, that's impacting us. Prostate cancer, especially for Black men. And that's going to be a whole other podcast topic that we're going to talk about, So all this stuff that we're dealing with, how has both of you guys as family helped you in this process of, one, staying sane mentally, and two, still being productive in what y'all doing?
Duane, I'm gonna let you go first since you're a little bit younger than me.
Okay. My family, my mom has passed, but she was she kept me in line. You know what I mean? You need to make a doctor's appointment. You need, check your blood sugar, What was your blood sugar? Even as an adult, she was on me with that. Right. My parents, my mom and my pop, they've been there from day one. So they know how to treat, when I had a low. There was a couple of times, I was over there and I went into the low blood sugar episode. So they knew how to treat it. So, that education that they got years ago, was still in play. My sister, she knows how to help me. My daughter and my wife, I had to educate them. And my daughter in school, she sees some of her friends with the, type 1 juvenile diabetes. And, she sees them, they have the same pump that I have. So, she'll talk to them on the side. She act like she don't, but, I believe she reads up on some of the stuff, and she knows how to help me and assist me when I need, when I need it. And my wife as well, I told her I had type 1 diabetes, she just went to the, we had encyclopedias back in the day, but, she just went online, Google it, read it, and, she come at me, should you be doing this? Should you be doing that? So the support system is very strong. And the support system is, definitely needed. And, hopefully that's what we're providing here, a support system.
So I would tell you from my perspective, I have two things that kind of woke me up. So my favorite uncle in the whole wide world was my Uncle Howard. He was like my second dad. And he was a guy in the community that he used to take the kids out and play baseball in the front yard, right? Wow. So when he became diagnosed with diabetes, it hit him really fast. He went from 0 to 100 within a couple of years, to where that's one of the reasons why we lost him. Because diabetes, like with him not taking care of his body, his mindset, my uncle, he'll eat a whole bunch of ice cream like nothing's wrong with him. So when I lost him, it kind of woke me up a little bit, like, okay, diabetes is not a joke. This is a serious thing. The second thing is that when I became diagnosed with it, I was dealing with it. A girl I used to date in high school died. She went to a diabetic coma twice, and she had a pump on. And they were saying that her diabetes was so irregular because she wasn't taking care of herself with her health, that when she went to the coma, she woke up, went right back into it. Second time she went back into it, she had a heart attack. And that really, really woke me up because, like, she was very close. I mean, she was my girlfriend in high school, but we stay in touch with each other. So losing two people that I know of to this disease woke me up tremendously. Woke me up.
Can I follow up on that?
Yep.
Real quick. And just going what you talk about, I got a note here, and it says how diabetes damages your body. How uncontrolled diabetes can damage your body. It can affect your brain. It affects your teeth. It affects your nerves, your kidneys, your heart, and your eyes. Now, I can about that. I got some issues with the teeth. I definitely got issues with my nerves. I got issues with my eyes. I said I got 3 in the possible because right now I'm taking medicine, to help keep my kidneys clear.
Right.
So how all these years of my uncontrolled diabetes are now affecting me.
Right.
That's why when you see me at these meetings, I'm always sitting down. I'm not doing too much moving. The walking is a little bit labored. That's why, because I have these effects. And that's just going back on the 2 conditions, how we said it goes, from 0 and 100 real fast, Like my situation, 2014, I didn't have no problems.
Right.
Just in 2020 right now, I got all these issues where, basically I really need to walk. I walk with a cane and I have leg braces.
Okay.
So Duane, I got a question. If you could talk to our viewers that it doesn't just have to be diabetes, but has with your disease, I'm curious, like if your family is like predisposed to diabetes, like what advice would you give somebody who may not have got diabetes yet, but are disposed to getting it because of family history? What advice do you have to people as far as what they could do for their physical health, so they don't have to, or they can help alleviate some of that, or maybe not get to the point where you and Joe are, where you got to use pumps and other things like that? Is there things you could do to kind of like prevent it from spreading so quickly or becoming so strong at a particular point?
There's definitely things you can do. I mean, it's just like I said, my 20s and 30s, I'm not gonna lie, I was just wilding out. I was in college, didn't have the, one is the education. It's out here, we know our families have it, but we want to we have a tendency to ignore it because, the way society is today, it's not us, and I'm not going to deal with it until it happens to me. So education, one. Second, I mean, going to the doctors, my parents knew something was wrong with me, that I was sick. So they had the knowledge enough to take me to the doctors to see what was going on with me. And, I'm talking about 78, 79. I can't even remember the year, to be honest with you. But I'm talking about then. So, education, the stuff is out here. You can Google it. Everything's on Google nowadays. Ask Siri, all that good stuff. But education and going to the doctor. Well, actually, I got Google phone, so but
you done messed up. Time to go.
But I got the Google phone here, but I got the iPad there. I'm using both right now. But all that being said, go to your doctor, and that's what I didn't do in my 20s and 30s. I didn't go to the doctor to get the checkups as I should have been. And, again, I'm going to go back to it. As my mom said, that diabetes got into my body, which it is now. So that's the major thing I would say,
So, Duane,
of course, the diet, like I said. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I want to speak to that. I talked to a doctor who's retired now, Black gentleman. He's a Mason. Shout out to my Mason bros. You know what I mean? We see y'all out there, my Mason bros. You feel me? All right. And what he said was, when you're going to the doctors for your like checkups and you're going because something is wrong with you, you have to be relentless. The way the world is designed, like he basically said, like doctors have to see a certain amount of patients per day to either meet their quota or whatever they have to do. So that's why you go to a doctor and they don't really spend a lot of time with you. You telling them you got chest pain or something, and they like, oh, well, take these aspirins and stuff like that. He said you got to be relentless. And you got to force them to talk to you. So like our viewers out there, like don't take limited information. Don't let people rush you out of their hospital because they too busy for you. Like you have to be relentless. And I know this to be true because my little story about physical health, I've dealt with fatigue pretty much for a long time now, and it's getting better now with the exercise. I got a lot more energy now. I'm exercising every day and I'm drinking a lot of water. But I kept going to the doctors for this and they wouldn't give me any explanation. They wouldn't run any tests, anything. And this is after both of my parents both died via heart attack in their 50s. So, I'm going to the doctor, I'm going to the doctors. And then finally they run an EKG. They say, hey, we think there could be something wrong with your heart. But I'm like, I've been coming to the doctor for 10 years.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you're telling me you think there may be something wrong with my heart. So I was so frustrated and angry with it. It turned out that my heart is fine. I just needed to make a few adjustments, exercise more and drink more water. But like, you have to go to the doctors, and then you also have to do your own research because they ain't going to give you everything. You got to ask questions. You got to be like, look, like I was having fatigue issues and I saw online that it could be this, and this. I need you to run tests for it. I need you to run tests. You know what I mean? Because they ain't going to do it unless you ask them to. So like we need to start going to the doctors. I can't tell you how many people probably haven't done their yearly checkup in 2 or 3 years.
Especially men.
It's like, you got to do your yearly checkup. If you over 40, you got to get your prostate exam.
Now they changed that now, so they're making it younger now. So now they're saying as early as 35 years old, we start getting checked for your prostate. Because now with the products that we have out here in the world, the chemicals that our body's ingesting, it can show up earlier opposed to at 40. You know what I mean? So if you catch that 35 and get rid of it, that's cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like you said, we have to be more aggressive with our health. You know what I'm saying? We gotta feed ourselves knowledge. One thing I learned is that with me being a black person, my wife and my family, we like rice, white rice. We like white pasta. We like noodles. You know what I'm saying? We like everything white, right? But now I find out now it needs to be from white to black or brown, right?
Yeah.
And we need to be like more wholesome foods. And the problem with that, society knows that. So you get a loaf of bread for 25 cents, but you got to pay $5 for a loaf of wheat bread. You know what I'm saying? So society's playing on our emotions with our health because it's something organic. You know what I'm saying? The price doesn't match up at all. It's easy for them to like inject an apple and make 5 apples out of one, opposed to growing 5 apples in a tree takes a year. You know what I mean? Because they want this money. You know what I'm saying? Like now they got fake meat now. What's fake meat? Like why?
I know, right?
And so everything's now is becoming faster. They try, hang with the crowds and like think about this. We all eat shrimp. How many shrimp is there in the world? Everybody in the world is eating shrimp at one time.
Well, they say tilapia is a man-made fish. I stopped eating tilapia.
Right. It is something like
it wasn't.
Some people say broccoli is fake. You know what I mean? I never seen a broccoli seed in the store. Think about it. You know what I mean? But I say, ultimately, like we say about everything we talk about, one thing you always gotta have is a support team. Whether it's mental health, whether it's medical health, whether it's friends, whatever you need, we need support. You know what I'm saying? We cannot do none of this on our own. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You need that person to build you up, talk to you, motivate you, take you to the doctors, take you to the chiropractor. You know what I mean? I'm seeing a chiropractor and a physical therapist right now for my back. I don't care, but I know I can get a ride there. You know what I mean? If I call Mel, hey, I need a ride. Mel's way come and get me. You know what I mean? Having that support system.
How many doctors I go to?
I can imagine.
If I can, just to touch on what both of you saying, one, when you go to the doctor, you have to be your own advocate.
Right.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
One, and what I did, I found myself when I did go to the doctor, I wasn't being honest, one, with that, and two, don't be afraid to change your doctor if they're not giving you the answers or support that you think you need. I have a totally different. I moved not to the doctor's fault, but because his staff was, as you said, they're pushing the people through. I ended up going to another doctor. Now I'm over at Penn. And if you feel as though, you're not getting the support that you need from your doctor, that's why they have these surveys. Call that number on your card. You can talk to them. They'll find you a doctor, closer, in your area, maybe at a different hospital that might be better. But these are the things that I didn't know when I was younger, that I didn't take advantage of, even though I had the support system there,
Yeah, we just got a comment come in from my sister Valissa. She says some people won't go to the doctors for the fear. They don't want to be told that something's wrong with them. So it's like the fear of the unknown, right? But so that plays two ways. Like I don't want to know I got diabetes, but then why am I always thirsty? Why am I always saying using the bathroom? You know what I mean? Like what's wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? Like so sometimes in life that's why you get that support system. If you get that fear of the unknown, then that support system help you get through that fear of the unknown.
You know and not to mention, like, we just have to change our mindset around mental health and physical health, period.
Right.
The fact of the matter is you can't be as productive as work. You can't be as productive with business if there's stuff wrong with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? You at work, you refuse to take care of your physical health. All that stuff does is prolong the inevitable. And now you're in your 50s suffering way worse. A lot of this stuff can be either subsided, whereas they can alleviate a lot of this stress. I say this probably every single podcast, guys. A lot of issues and problems that we run through in life can be alleviated or completely taken over with proper planning.
So I'm gonna tell you, my cousin, he had diabetes, and he's like, I'm good. So he's riding his motorcycle and got a little cut on his toe, right? My cousin was in the hospital for almost 6 months, lost his baby toe, almost lost his second toe. They're like, you know what? We might have to take your whole foot off. And he works for a very big delivery company, been there for a long period of time. He was out of work for almost a year because of not taking his body, not listening to what the doctors say, not checking his blood sugar. You know what I mean? Could you imagine losing a toe? You know what I mean? Like that's start one. Then it goes from there. I had an aunt who lost both her legs. And it was kind of funny because she used to chase us around the house cussing at us. So when she lost her legs, you can't chase me now.
What's her name? Because I had the same month. What's her name? Because I had that same month.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm serious. Like we always try to talk about serious matters, but like for real, we gotta take care of ourselves. Got to. If you need somebody to go with you, call somebody to go with you. I'll go with you if you're in Delaware. I'll take time off. I'll go with you. You know what I mean? Yeah, I help you get through it best I can. I help you find resources. Like you gotta build your team up. You gotta talk to people, and we cannot be afraid. Cannot be afraid because the other people, I don't say no colors of their skin. They ain't afraid. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, people go to the doctors, dog. Something wrong with their kid. They taking them to the doctors. Let me tell you guys something. Like, if you don't want to take care of your physical health, don't expect nobody else to want to do it for you.
What you say? Hey, say that again.
If you don't want to take care of your physical health, don't expect others to want to do it for you.
Yeah.
Is that simple?
That's just the facts.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's your body.
And that's your body. The other thing I would say too, get with the matriarch of your family to find out what your health line is like. You know what I'm saying? Like my uncle, he's very thorough. We know everything we have. Like, I have some of the typical black things. I have high blood pressure. I have diabetes. I have coronary artery disease. You know what I mean? But I don't claim them. You know what I'm saying? I got to deal with them, but I don't claim them because once you claim it, it's in your mind, goes to your heart, you're done. You know what I mean? Right. I deal with them. I respect them, but I'm not claiming them, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm great. Once this weather break, I'm back on my bicycle doing 25 miles a day. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to match Mel. Mel's on day 36 of his workouts. I ain't getting
actually, not to cut you off, today will be 39 of my workout. All right, so Don't short me 3 days, bro. I want my days, yo.
So what type of workout? What type of workouts are y'all doing? Because it's funny you say that. Because in our chapter, we got a 55-mile challenge.
Okay.
So in our 55-mile, we set it up for the month, but the month is nowhere near, and I didn't smash that 55 miles just with
Look at you, Big Daddy. Look at you, Big Daddy.
Because because of that, we gotta, 55 being my number, so we got change that up a little bit,
Hey, double it, make
next time, but we are doing it.
Let's go, make it 110. You know what I'm saying?
I realized I was getting a little carried away on the weight. See, I was a stress eater.
Me too.
So if I got stressed, I went to the Kit Kats, the Magnum ice cream, and the cake. I was a stress eater. I got up to 225, and I'll tell you a funny story, man. I went out with my in-laws and my wife, and they was paying, so I got me a little, nice meal. Right. I got me something good, and they got up and they was like, "Hey, can you take a picture of us?" So they take a picture, and I was like, "All right, yeah, take one with my phone too." So they take another picture and they hand me the phone back. I look at the picture, I was like, "Yo!" So I had to look over to my wife, and I was like, "Yo, who this fat dude next to you in this picture?" Hey. She like, "That's you, yo." The picture was crazy, yo. I hope that, I done lost some weight now, but that picture was crazy. I was getting out of hand. So, I started changing some things to my diet. Right now, tomorrow, my wife and I are starting the Daniel's fast. So that's going to go in conjunction with the workout that I'm doing. Take care of your physical health. So right now I do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and 6.2 miles every single day, bike or run or walk.
Hey, so we got one of our viewers on some 225 lightweight. This dude here is funny. And I'm going to say he's a Q. You know what I'm saying? Them boys over Omega Sci-Fi, they always try to talk about somebody else's light. You know what I'm saying? Spence, where you at, Spence? You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, Spence, how's your health going right now, Spence? Answer that question. Yeah, Spence.
Yeah.
Right. So we just had one of our viewers chime in. Miss Kalina. She says she has some health challenges that she has conquered and wanted to share. Call in 302-584-3287. We would love to have you. That's 302-584-3287. Give us a call. We'll bring you on right now. You say less.
Call us.
Call us.
Call in.
That magic number.
Like call in. So I must have got up to 200, 202 to be exact at one point. And I had that same picture. I can show that picture. I was like, this is an old picture, I'm in the picture and people don't recognize me.
Wow.
Right.
They be like, that's you? And even now, when I go to the doctor, I'm at 180, 181. I don't know how much I've lost till I go back. But for my height, that's still considered overweight.
Right.
Overweight, almost pushing obese. So, and going back to what Joe was saying about the diet, with the diabetes, the rice, the noodles, that's the carbs. I didn't have any training in that until maybe, I'm gonna say 3 or 4 years ago now. I didn't know that affected me, I like I'm not steak and potatoes guy. If I can have that every day, steak, potatoes, fried chicken, mashed potatoes, peas and all that good stuff. So I had to change my diet, the way I eat a little bit. Yeah, I'm a comfortable guy. I'm up 2 o'clock at night eating chips and all that good stuff. I see it's a caller.
Hold on 1 second, Duane. Thank you for calling the As a Black Man podcast. This is Mel. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm great. I heard Joe mention the brother that chimed in. This is Bush. I'm chiming in. What's good?
Hey, what's going on, Bush? Thank you for calling in. What's good?
What's good, Spence?
I can't call it. So I know Joe personally, so he know right now I'm a little physically challenged. I had foot surgery.
Okay.
So I'm unable to to hit the gym, but I mean, like most of you guys, I'm probably a lot older than you guys. I'll be 64 this year, but
64 years young. Okay.
Go, baby.
Yeah, but I can still run with the best of them. But what I will say on the serious note, as black men, we have to pay attention to signs that our bodies give us, whether it's pain or swelling, anything that's abnormal. Don't ignore it. And I say that because when I was about 36 or 37, I used to work out vigorously, and I had this pain in my stomach, and I figured out it was just I strained the stomach muscle. So after the second day, I went to the urgent care, and they didn't see anything. They said they x-rayed, saw some gas in my stomach, which it wasn't that. The third day, the pain was so intense, I went to the ER, and what they found is I had diverticulitis, and I had never experienced such pain in my life. And they wound up keeping me in the hospital for a week. Antibiotics and morphine, that's how severe the pain is. And what happened post my recovery at the hospital a week later, they told me to follow up with either their doctors or mine, and something told me to go to my gastroenterologist up in Philly. He took one look at the films from Christiana, and I had a tumor that was the size of a grapefruit.
Wow.
They actually missed. So I say that to say we have to be in control and involved with our health and our healing. Once that tumor was found, I actually wound up having to have surgery to remove the tumor. So they took my right colon out. Thanks to God, it wasn't cancerous. It had turned cancerous. When the pathology came back, it was found that within 30 days it would have turned cancer. Hence, cancerous, which I would have had colon cancer.
Wow.
So I say that, they say 50 is a marker. Don't wait until you're 50 to get your colon checked. Don't wait to get your prostate checked. These are all areas that we can take control in to get markers. Even if you don't have a colon issue, even if you don't have a prostate issue, don't wait until you do, because it can be treated early. My recovery from that colonoscopy was hemicolectomy, where they removed my right colon. I never had an issue in recovery. Everything still works. I wasn't on a bag, and even with prostate exams, even my line brothers, my chapter brothers, there's this stigma, you don't want a finger up your ass. Well, I tell you what, when you have prostate cancer, or they're treating you for it, or in my case, when I had to have the hemicolectomy and the doctor wanted to get a sample, all the doctors weren't young and Asian. I had this one brother that was a doctor that was as big as Shaquille O'Neal, and this one that said, "Hey, I need to get a sample." And I'm looking up, his hand was like 3 of my hands together. Then you don't have a choice. So to avoid that, I would encourage us as black men to get regular physicals once or twice a year. See your specialist, your gastroenterologist, your urologist. Don't take things for granted. Don't take 2 Tylenol and think it's going to be okay. You might wind up dead. So I say that to say it's important. Healthy eating. Joe seen me, so I ain't been eating healthy. I've been around the house for a couple weeks. I also have picked up a couple pounds. But once my foot is better, I'll be back in the gym. So I'm not doing a 55-mile bike ride, fellas. What I will do is go to the gym, do some cardio, and start lifting weights again. So that's all I got for you guys. I'm enjoying the show. So that's all I got. Unless somebody got questions for me.
Well, you know what? I just want to say, sir, that what you're saying is so powerful. And I'm so glad that you called in today. Thank you so much. We as black men, and we gotta start taking our health seriously,
right? Because
the physical health leads to mental health issues. It leads to marriage issues. We gotta take care of ourselves, and we need other black men like yourself to come on here. They ain't nothing homosexual about getting a prostate check. You need to get your prostate checked. You need to go to your doctors, and you need to get help. Because once you get that cancer, you're gonna regret it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you're gonna have all kind of tests done all the time. That's all intrusive. So take care of yourself, and we need men like you to come on here and share your story. So thank you so much. We definitely appreciate it. Do y'all have any questions?
Hey,
no
Duane,
question, but just to kind of to encompass everything, nobody knows your body like you.
Have young children. It is nothing more painful, I can tell you from my experience, it being in my late 30s, to have my young children see me in the hospital hooked up to wires, because I was always big, strong dad. At that point, you're not. You're vulnerable. So think of your kids, man. If you don't care about your health enough for you, think of your kids, your wife, your significant others, your family. They need us to be around. So that's all I got, fellas.
Well, thank you so much for calling in.
All right, take care, guys.
You too. Bye bye now.
Hey, another thing I want to talk about also real quick before we close the show is that my nutritionist was telling me that a lot of African American males drink a brown liquor, right? Brown liquor has a stronger content of sugar than any other liquor. She said, if you're going to drink anything, drink a clear liquor, if you have to drink liquor at all. And I was like, wow, almost all my friends drink brown liquor. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many small, intricate things that we intake in that is actually damaging our body. We don't even know it. You know what I mean? I remember I used to go get some shrimp fried rice, a bottle of Hennessy, and I was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are 2 no-nos. You know what I'm saying? 2 no-nos. So, like Duane said earlier, like, education is very key. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like Spence said, like, when something hurts on you, go to the doctors. You know what I mean? Now I got health insurance. My doctors hate me because I'm always in there. I'm always in there. I'm killing them. Man, we made our $5,000 deductible already, and it's already February. You know what I'm saying? That's how advantageous I am about my health right now. Like, I done seen every doctor. I seen a dermatologist, ear, nose, and throat doctor, the dentist. I done been to see everybody. I'm trying to make sure your boy is good. Because, like, I got a wife and kids and grandkids, and I got a very family that loves me. I'm trying to be around as long as I can. I can't control when I die, but I'm going to have fun while I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm going out with a bang, baby.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so, going back on that, I got that same information from my nutritionist as well. She was like, you know, if you drink, you want a rum and Coke, drink clear rum and a Diet Coke.
Right.
Oh, I can have a Diet Coke with that? You know what I mean? You know, I didn't know that. But going back, everybody had the brown liquor because, you know, that's what Papa and your uncles was drinking.
Right.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Right. We have another caller. Thank you for calling the As a Black Man podcast. This is Mel. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Kayliana.
Hey, cuzzo.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? How you doing? Good morning.
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for calling in, cousin. We get the cousin on the line. Got the cousin on the line. Okay, what's up?
Hello?
Yeah, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. What's up?
That's some Philadelphia phones.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, watch that.
We're still here. Thank you for calling in. What's going on?
You're just, sure, here we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Listen, January 2019. Yes, I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
January 2019, I weighed 298 pounds.
Woo! Uh-huh.
Y'all still hearing me?
Well, we hear you. I'm ready for this testimony. You about to get me hype. Go ahead.
All right. I had diabetes, high cholesterol, and I'm obese, as they say. Now, January 2019, I weigh 178 pounds.
Man, you're lost a person.
233 to 108. I'm off insulin completely. I started off running 2 miles. Now I run 7 miles. My goal is to run 10 miles.
Let's go.
On February 11th, clean bill of health.
Let's go.
So I'm doing good. I've changed. my diet, not change what I eat, but change how I eat it.
Wow. Oh, you can't just drop these gems like this and not tell us the secret. You gotta tell us the secret now. You say you ain't changed what you eat, you change how you eat. Go ahead, give it to me, please.
Okay. I started boxing, I started taekwondo, and I started swimming.
Woo!
So
Lord have mercy.
I'm down. I'm 56 years old. I'll be 57 in June. This is the only body I got. I still got another 50 years.
You said this the only body you got? That's what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, you about to make me get up and start praise dancing in here, boy. Oh my goodness. Oh.
You about to start working out.
Yo, you really inspiring a brother. So hold on. You still didn't touch upon this changing how you eat. Go ahead and get what you mean by changing how you eat. You didn't change what you eat. You changed how you eat.
I drink more water. I left the sodas alone. I still eat chicken cheese fries and chicken cheese steak. But now instead of eating all of it, I eat part of it. I don't eat after 7.
You don't eat after 7. Okay.
That's key.
No.
All right. And you saying you doing 7 miles a day running?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you are
hard when you live in Philly. Cause you got to run everywhere in Philly.
I got another 50 years left in me.
You are my inspiration.
Thank you.
Real. No, I'm being serious right now because I'm trying to run 6.2 miles per day. I've been doing a little bit of the bike, trying to get my knee back right and stuff like that. So to hear if you can do it and you can lose 100 pounds, all I got to do is lose 25 pounds. And I'm about to get it.
It took me a year, but I did it.
100 pounds in a year? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I hear you, Joe, talking about you got to run everywhere in Philly. I'm busting you for you.
That is amazing.
It's definitely out there, but you have to decide in your mind that you want to be better. Right. And once you decide and you stick to it, you're good to go. And that's what I did.
So
nobody do it but me.
Right. Wow. So what sparked that change? When you was 289 pounds, what was your mental state like as far as like your mental health? If you could go back to that person, and for our other viewers that are overweight, have physical challenge, have mental health challenge, what's that advice that you can give to them? So this is a 2-part question. The first question is, what sparked that change in you when you was in January 2019 and you're like, I'm 55 years old and I'm not happy with my physical health? And what suggestions can you give to our viewers that feel the same exact way that you did?
Well, what I didn't like first, what sparked it is I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. I didn't like the fact that I had rolls inside my clothes and I was trying to hide it. And I was figuring out, how can I change that? I had to like what I seen. So I had to change it. And you got to start with you. You got to start with your mental state. Do you like what you see? Do you like how you feel when you walk up and down the steps? Do you like being tired all the time when you take a walk? Do you like having heartburn all the time? Do you like all this? No, I didn't like all that. And so instead of complaining about it, I did something about it.
Can I ask a question?
Is that me? I hear me.
Duane has a question for you.
Like, did you, at any point of this time, did you go to the doctor? And like, what made you go to a doctor? Because again, we were talking earlier about how we don't visit our doctors either because when we're afraid to find out what's wrong with us, or we don't have the money or the insurance at all. So did you visit the doctor?
Go ahead.
Did you hear the question? So the question was, at what point, like when you started getting on this journey, did you go to a doctor? What prompted you to go to the doctor? And were they able to offer you assistance in your weight loss journey?
Well, this is what it was. I was always going to the doctor. Every time you turn around, I was feeling something that wasn't right. I was feeling like, okay, something's going on. Let me see what the doctor can tell me. Yeah, I heard. I was answering them.
Wow.
Right. So thank you for sharing. What advice can you give to our viewers that are having some physical health challenges, that may be overweight, may have diabetes and high cholesterol, and they feel like giving up? But your story is so powerful. I mean, both you and Duane's story is so powerful. What advice can you give our viewers that felt the same way that you did in 2019?
Well, I felt that being that every time you turn around, I had a doctor's appointment, and they were giving medicine every time you turn around, and every time you turn around, the medicine has side effects. Well, if you eat certain foods and if you do certain exercises, even if you're sitting in the bed watching TV, sit up 2-3 times. Sit up 2-3 times. You're sitting in a chair, move your legs around, wave your arms around. You just standing in line at the grocery store. Do some twists, do some turns. Just do anything. It's about you. It's about what you can do for yourself without a doctor's advice. They don't know you. They only know what you tell them.
Right.
And if you tell yourself, I can do better without them, then you will do better without them. Start with you. Start with you. Do little things. You can't do everything all at once because, Lord, this took me forever. Boxing, jumping rope, who? Nah, boo-boo. That wasn't me. But I had to learn. And I started. And the more I did it, the more I progressed, the more I liked it. I was like, damn, if I can do 5, I can do 6. If I can do 6, I can do 8. That's how it started. Kept on going.
Wow. Thank you so much for calling in. I just want to say to our viewers, like, yes, this is a podcast for Black men and some of the things that we go through and some of the challenges, but we love our Black sisters and we love all people, first of all, but we're glad that you called in and shared this because it could benefit everyone.
Right.
So all of our female viewers that are watching the show, feel free to comment. Feel free to call in. We love you guys just as much. Actually, we love you guys more. I definitely love them more than I love Joe. No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding.
Hey, but look, the best thing I think about this is that we need our queens to support the kings, right? And then the kings and the queens work together to work with our princesses, you know what I'm saying, and our smaller kids. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we need our sisters.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. We definitely appreciate it, and your story is amazing.
You're welcome. Love you, Joe. I'm just more deliciously detailed.
Hey, yeah, get up. Bye-bye now.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
wow, that's great.
Yeah,
amazing.
We thank the viewers for the comments and everything. Like, I'm glad we were able to touch everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, our main purpose, it was for men, but we need our sisters also. You know what I'm saying? Because they are a support system. You know what I mean? They are crutches. They are, they are everything. You know what I mean? My wife gets on me a lot. She should be eating that. She should be touching that. Hey, what are you got?
Calm down. You got my wife over here looking at me now.
Yeah. Get off my back, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm trying to live 100 years with you. Like, word. So I got to respect her opinion also. And if you're in a relationship, think about this. It's not just you, but it's your spouse also that you got to think about. You know what I mean? Stop being bullheaded. Let that male ego go. Let that stress go. Go see the doctor. Be advantageous with the doctor. Get right. Because one thing about diabetes, it does mess with. It can cause penile dysfunctions. You know what I mean?
Man.
So you can't have sex. You know what I mean? That's not good for your wife. Your husband can't have sex with her. That's another mental issue you got going on. You know what I mean?
About that?
Yeah. So we gotta eliminate all that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was saying earlier, Joe. We can eliminate a lot of the stress and a lot of the stuff because basically it's like compounded interest, but negative. You know what I mean? You get the diabetes, now you got erectile dysfunction, now you're depressed. One little health issue can turn into a whole bunch of issues where you can do what's necessary to better plan or to better take care of your body. You need to be working out. Yeah. You know, when I say this story is amazing, both of our viewers that called in today, like, I've learned a lot. You got to take care of your body because ain't nobody going to do it for you. They both did the same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? But just hearing two other people that's a lot older than I am that are going to the gym all the time. And I'm like, yo, these push-ups hurt. Nah, I'm going to do these push-ups, yo.
Right.
Man, she's boxing and running 7 miles a day. I was just complaining about running 6.2 miles.
Right.
Yeah, she's running 7 miles a day, yo. I ain't got nothing to complain about, man. That has just inspired me to keep pushing, and we're so happy, man. Duane, I got some positive affirmations.
Let's go, baby! Affirmation time!
Hey.
Affirmation time!
Yeah. So those that know me know that this has changed my life. The positive affirmations, man, I say them every day.
Right.
And I love to share them. We got some positive affirmations on working on your mind, body, and spirit. Number 1, my mind is brilliant. My body is healthy. My soul is tranquil. All right. So Duane, I'm gonna read 5 of these, and we're gonna let you pick the best one and explain what it means to you. Okay. All right. So my mind is brilliant. My body is healthy. My soul is tranquil. Let's see. Number 2, every cell in my body vibrates with energy and health. Every cell in my body vibrates with energy and health. Here we go. Number 5, I am healthy. Number 3, I am healthy in my mind, body, and spirit. Okay. I am healthy in my mind, body, and spirit. Number 4, there's a big one. I feel this one. I forgive myself, and I'm able to forgive those who have hurt me in the past. I forgive myself, and I'm able to forgive those who have hurt me in the past. And last one, I manifest perfect health by letting go of what doesn't serve me. I manifest perfect health by letting go of what doesn't serve me.
So, Duane, what do you say?
Okay, for me, number 1 and 3, they kind of tie together and go together because they're saying, to me, they're saying the same thing in a different way. And what I got out of that is you have that inner peace. And once you have that inner peace with yourself, you're able to move more freely in the things that you do, the way that you think, and how you process things. And that to me, again, number 1 and 3, they're saying the same thing, but just in different ways. So I take number 1 and 3, and that's how I feel about it, because you have that. It's basically giving you that inner peace, and once you have that inner peace, you're able to, judge things differently. If I'm, I get in here sometimes, I'm sick, I can't get going. I'm mad at the world. The littlest thing, ticks me off and throws me into a whirlwind when I'm, when I don't have that inner peace within me. So your mind, your body, and your spirit, that affects it a lot. And just the physical dealings that I have with the diabetes right now, that has affected me a lot. Not being able to walk freely. I played ball all my life, and now, I can't play ball, I can't even catch a ball because I can't feel it in my hands. So just, like I said, just the little things, tying my shoes, like I said, I'll put my story out there, I'm not ashamed to say it. I can't tie my shoes just because I'm physically not able to do it.
Right.
Because again, the nerve damage in my hands and things like that. So, I need that inner peace and, that in my mind so I can, be right, get right for the, just for the day on the daily,
Right.
Yeah, I wake up in pain, but as you said, I got to push on because there's things I got to do that needs to be done. My daughter's going to go to college. So, that's a whole nother, that's like a whole nother issue there. So, I got to be up for that, My wife is dealing with things too, so she can't, I can't put all the burden on her, and them. So,
well, look, Duane, I
you
got
know,
my
you gotta
guns
keep
ready,
going.
bro. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's going to, you call me. You know what I'm saying? You want them out, I'm gonna take care of them for you. You know what I'm saying?
Got
But
you.
look,
I ought to be like, yo, we got frat on that campus down there.
yeah.
All right.
And look, we also got a comment too from Lisa. She said, I forgive myself and also forgive those who hurt me in the past. Like that goes back to what we talked about before, that self-love, the affirmations, like all this ties in together. Like if somebody hurts you, forgive them. Whether they accept it or not, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? Free your mind, your soul, your body, move forwards. Keep it moving.
Yeah. And it's not always a physical hurt. It can be, I forgive myself. I had to come to the point where I forgive myself for what I did to myself back in my late teens, 20s, and 30s. Like I said, all the partying, running the streets, the drinking the brown liquor. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got a bunch of brown liquor over here now. I forgive myself for those things that I did. And people that were with me along the way, they didn't know they was hurting me because I didn't let them know that they was hurting me. They're just, oh, yo, we're gonna stop by the store on the way there, things like that. And it's not always a physical hurt, but I can't blame them for that either because they didn't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? So again, to me, that goes back to that inner peace that I have to do that, not to blame them.
Right. So, Duane, thank you so much for sharing your story, man. It is greatly appreciated. We had an awesome show. Thank you to our viewers that checked it out. And remember, it's time as Black men that we stay in our ground. We speak our truth. We go after what we want, regardless of the pain we've been through. We quit for no one and inspire others to be themselves, to become greater. We owe it to ourselves as Black men. You guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Duane and Joe, stay on. You do not have to hang up on the live.
Hey, look, real quick. I challenge everybody out there to hug somebody today, tell them you love them, give them a high five, and stay motivated. It's Black History Month again. March, baby. Let's go.